Ooh, this one could be good, but it's going to be good. We know it's going to be good. Leo Robinson and Yehan Calichurn share the front row of the grid. Aidan Mitchell and Patrick Leaf on row 2. Jake Humphrey and Willoughby Steele on row 3.
Row 4, Jack Stewart and Harry Blore. Behind them, Harrison Morrow and Monty Brathwaite round the top 10. Then it's William Bryant and Daniela Sutton there on 11th and 12th.
With Daniel Samir, who had plenty of camera time at the end of the pre-final, starting shotgun on the field in 13th position.
Hopefully he'll be waving from the kart this time.
Yes. No, both Tim Wilson Motorsport karts, Daniel Samir and Daniela Sutton back out there repaired after their incident in the pre-final. The lights are not out. That did not look like a good formation.
Not ideal, no.
Like
you were saying, we're both very excited for this final, aren't we? With how good the pre-final was earlier on. I mean, give us extra minutes of that, it's only going to be better because they were battling from lights out, weren't they, last time?
Absolutely, indeed. And I was looking there. So Harrison Morrow, great start, 9th place. That's the best he's done in the British Championship. So he's going really, really well. Really good to see a driver that, takes a... I mean, God... He's a junior driver. He's on the way. He's on the man's on weights. Man is pumping the iron, and so if you could have a 24-hour race, you could probably do it one-handed. Deary me!
Can you tell Henry's got a teenage son?
Yeah.
Man's got
a teenage son. Everything's David Goggins. Who's going to carry the boat? As they say. Right. Junior TKM into the tram lines. Is it a go this time? Lights are... Oh, not out.
No.
Oh, and there's... somebody going piggybacking there at the start line. I hope that might be an issue for the nose cone. But, yes, I have a teenage son who is not well at the moment, but he is... Yes, another one who is just like that. Right.
As in he's not well at the moment just because he's your son? Or he's ill?
He's had to put up the lot in 40 years. He is his dad. But no. It's fitness. Got to have maximum riz. That's what it's all about. What he fails to remember is that I wrote the book on... You're speaking to the doctor of Rizonomics. Here we go. Well done, Colby in Water Swift.
You said someone from the live chat had the quote of the day. That's the quote of the day.
Oh, no, yes. Right. Here we go. Oh dear, that is Patrick Leaf bogging down. They're not information. Lights are not out. It is the droid. It still says formation. But well, hang on a second. So our screen says formation, but there is no false start. Right, so
we're underway, I believe.
Well, they're not slowing down at all. I'm just looking at the
timer's not counting down on the counting.
I'm a little bit. So formation. Oh no, we're go.
Now it is.
We're go. It's good to go. There's a bit of confusion here. I'm constantly confused.
We're definitely underway.
Whatever it is, Yehan Calichurn has the lead of this race with up into second position. Well, it's Aidan Mitchell in that number 14 kart.
Yeah, so really it's not been a good start for Leo Robinson at all. Down 5 places from the pole position. He's now finds himself in 6th place. So it all sort of... Yeah, everyone got a bit... It was Patrick Leaf was bogged, sort of got everyone out of position and all got a bit confusing.
And they're about 4 wide when they crossed the line, but I thought, well, okay, the drivers, we're giving the drivers ample opportunity to start these races properly. I'm thinking that because there's no actual tram lines, the drivers have got so used to following the tram lines that the lack of tram lines is what is getting the drivers all a bit discombobulated.
I like that word.
Yes. It sounds like it rolls in discombobulated. Right,
well,
not discombobulated.
Yeah, someone who isn't discombobulated is Yehan Calichurn.
Balanced is Yehan Calichurn.
He's flying. He's absolutely flying. However, Aidan Mitchell is still all over his rear axle. They've only got a little bit back to Jake Humphrey and Willoughby Steele as well. But as we said in the pre-file, Willoughby Steele has been sort of there and thereabouts, but just not quite able to challenge that top group. Let's see if that's able to change through this final. Can he keep on the back of Jake Humphrey? Because, of course, Jake Humphrey, we saw him start to challenge in that pre-final earlier on. It was great to see him battling up in the front of the order, but interestingly so, of course, 15-minute final once again, just as the other finals that we've seen. tactics coming into play. Is Aidan Mitchell going to continue to sit behind here and just push Jehan Kalachurn forward? It does seem like that.
Yes, indeed. So Mitchell, again, this is where, so he was, PFI, he won all the heats on Saturday at PFI. He was just, him and his dad this morning, they were just saying, look, we're just going to keep it together today. You know, we're quite often very, very fast on Saturday and then not quite as fast on Sunday. But that is, Aidan Mitchell is putting that theory to rest completely now, because he is, you know, staying with Jehan Kalachurn, being smart. Now, we saw so many overtakes. You know, we were doing 2 a lap. 2 passes for the lead, a lap in a pre-final. This is smart racing. This is what Leon Frost and Liv Jenkins did last year in this class in Junior TKM. They just literally, they just stuck together and pushed away for the first 14 minutes of the race. And what Leo Robinson and Jake Humphrey in third, Leo Robinson in fourth, and Willoughby Steele in fifth cannot let them do is get away. So they then have to work together. Great start from Jack Stewart up into P6. Monty Brathwaite is 7th. Patrick Leaf is recovering from his poor start in 8th with the new fastest lap of the race. Then it's William Bryant, who was at the bank earlier on, but now he's back on terra firma, and he's in 9th. Then Daniel Samir and Daniela Sutton, the 2 drivers that were involved in an incident in the pre-final. They are 10th and 11th. Harry Bloor, off colour. Harry Bloor, I'm saying not off colour, that's not right, because he's perfectly healthy, but the kart is off song this weekend. All is not well with that kart. There's something integral, and Harrison Morrow has had a detour.
That was a cheeky dive down the inside on the number 10, so it must have been Leo Robinson. It was indeed, just diving it to the apex there, really, really nicely weighted under the brakes, takes away 3rd place from Jake Humphrey. Clearly Leo, of course, didn't have the most ideal of starts, got knocked down the order, but clearly thinking he's a little bit faster, and Jake Humphrey points him forward, said, go on, well, let's work together, because Willoughby Steele is right there and behind them still as well.
Oh, you're saying, yeah, Harrison Morrow H has had a detour off the prepared surface onto the lovely manicured grass here. He's got back onto the prepared surface and is running in 13th position, about 5 seconds behind the rest of the field.
I find there's a lot more grip on the prepared surface.
Yeah, you know, the Shenington Kart Club do a very good job of preparing the surface.
Might as well use it.
You might as well use it. Yeah, why not? You know, why not? So. But the gap is growing between new 3rd place driver Leo Robinson and the top 2. The gap between 1st and 2nd is now up to 1.5 seconds. The 2 Tim Wilson Motorsport karts, Robinson and Humphrey, they've got to work together. They've got to channel their inner water swift and push each other along. Use the draft, use the slipstream. Easier said than done. They're doing a good job of it. Willoughby Steele there, followed by Leaf. There is the number 97 of Bryant. They just got past Jack Stewart, and that's number 12 kart of Monty Brathwaite going past Stewart as well. Let's check the gap. The gap has grown by another 10th. It's just Kalachurn and Mitchell just solidly chipping away. A 10th here, a 10th there, and suddenly, oh no, that is the number 15 kart. That is Daniel Samir.
He had a good start as well. He's up a good number of positions.
Yeah, out of the race, sadly. Mechanical issue by the looks of it.
Yeah, pulls over to the infield. Never nice to see. We were hoping we'd see him smiling from the kart this time, but sadly it looks like it's going to be from outside of the kart once again for Daniel. So a gutting day for him for sure. Trying to see what that flag was out. The yellow flag, of course. We've got Daniel parked up on the infield there, so I'm sure that will be going in shortly. The Marshal's doing a fantastic job here at Shenington, as always. And let's see as they cross the line again. It had gone up to, actually went down ever so slightly there. Yep. Just less than a 10th of a second. The gap shortened between Mitchell and Robinson. However, it's staying around that sort of just under 2-second mark, isn't it? So Kalachurn and Mitchell doing everything they can here, working together to press on forward. Still 8.5 minutes left to go, so they can just continue to keep doing what they're doing, extending that lead. Then once we get to sort of a couple of minutes left to go, then it'll be elbows out, and they'll be going for it, battling for the lead.
I'm sure it will be.
Patrick Leaf, though, he's been really impressive now up into 5th place. Still has that fastest lap of the race, and he's definitely closing in on Leo Robinson and Jake Humphrey there. Still about 3.2 seconds off of the lead is Patrick Leaf. So, of course, he bogged down at the start, lost a number of positions, but that car has clearly come back into its own. And we know Patrick is pretty fast as well in that junior TKM car.
The Patrick Leaf's car oiling up at the start there, which is why he didn't get away.
Right,
he will be ruining that oiling up because he has the pace to match the two leaders. He finds himself, as we approach half distance, he finds himself faster than anybody else on track, but 3 seconds behind the first place driver, Jan Kalichern. Can Jan make it 3 wins out of 3 in a row, and the only driver in this class to have stood on the top step of a British Championship podium, because none of the other drivers, even in any other class they've raced in, none of them have won a round of the Vera Tours British Kart Championship. In the speaking of championship, John, at the moment 566 points for Jan Kalichern, 538 for Aidan Mitchell. They're running 1, 2, and down to third, Leo Robinson 536, Willoughby Steele 530, your top 4. So the battle for second in the championship is really, really good, but Kalichern has sort of put his rivals to the sword in the first half of the season.
Well, the battle for second in the championship is also what would be the battle for second on circuit as well. They've just got a couple of seconds in between them, haven't they? So that gap continuing to extend now over 2 seconds between Leo Robinson and Jehan Kalichern in the lead. That should stay around the same. Yeah, almost identical. 2.05 compared to 2.08 on the previous lap. Still 6.5 minutes left to go then, and once again, Kalichern and Mitchell just doing the smart heads-up bit of driving and working together behind them. Robinson and Humphrey still doing the same, but seems to just not be quite working out for them. They just don't quite have that pace to work together and press on forward. But just in behind them, look who's closing in. Patrick Leaf is within 0.6 of a second now of Jake Humphrey. It's going to be critical how quickly he can get past Humphrey and Robinson here if he wants a chance at closing that gap down to Kalichern and Mitchell by the end when they do start fighting.
Yes, we could have definitely a 3-way dance for third position. Now, further back, Brathwaite in 7th and Bryant in 8th. They're having a little tussle together. But then the rest of the field is much more spread out than I would have thought based on what we saw in the second heat and the pre-final. You've got Jack Stewart running in 9th and a 7-second gap back to Daniela Sutton in 10th, another 2 seconds back to Harry Bloor in 11th, and then another 6 seconds back to Harrison Martin. Oh, and that was Willoughby Steele trying to generate some artificial excitement by running wide coming out of Stratford Corning and climbing over that sausage curb. And Patrick Leaf has caught the 2 Tim Wilson Motorsport karts. 2.2 seconds is the gap between Aidan Mitchell in 2nd and the number 6 Tim Wilson Motorsport kart of Leo Robinson in 3rd.
Yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, absolutely critical for Patrick Leaf to try and get through here as fast as possible, but of course, making sure it's a clean and fair move nonetheless. You don't want to be causing yourself an unnecessary penalty, and then the hopes of the win are completely gone. So let's see what he can do here down into the hairpin. Sits behind once more. Still 4.5 minutes on the clock, so he has got some time to wait for the perfect move here, but it's going to be challenging because there are 2 of them. So then, of course, once you pass one, you then open up for you having to defend and attack, which, as you said before, is very challenging.
There's 2 of them, and they're brethren.
Yes, of course.
They are Tim Wilson Motorsport brethren. But Patrick Leaf deciding that discretion might... Well, he had a sort of that was a scouting mission. That was no, says Jake Humphrey. Said, don't pass, push. And Patrick said, well, thank you for that sage advice, but I will do my own thing. If I believe that my chances are improved by pushing you, then I will continue to push you. If not, then I will pass. But it is push, not pass at the moment.
Indeed. He seems to be sticking to that for now anyway, pushing them forward. However, that gap, as we've said, throughout the race between Mitchell and Robinson has just been slowly but surely increasing. Again, Kalichern and Mitchell nearly doing identical times throughout this race.
Oh, here's another little scouting mission. Now to the outside. Sort of a mere sort of investigation. Now Leaf has got a run. Now Leaf will look to, well, Jake Humphrey sort of giving us, what are you doing? I'm overtaking you. I would like to finish on the podium. Jake Humphrey's got some tactics in mind, but Patrick Leaf maybe not reading from the same tactical book as Jake Humphrey. Jake Humphrey's tactics involve him staying ahead of Patrick Leaf's, and Patrick Leaf's tactics involve him passing. But at this point, 2.3 seconds down on the race leaders, all Patrick Leaf is thinking is that, okay, if Yehan Kalicher and Aidan Mitchell wipe each other out, I want to be the first person to capitalise. Simple as that.
Exactly, yeah, you want to be in the best position for when it starts to kick off, and it might just be starting. It might just be starting. We haven't kept much of an eye on Kalicher and Mitchell for a while because they've been working together so well, but there was maybe a little bit of a thought of a move there at least.
Yeah.
Defending.
Yes.
There we go.
I thought, did we just see Yehan take a slightly tighter line down the front straight? Aidan Mitchell saying, no, I'm not going to overtake you yet. Yehan's like, I know I've trusted you for the last 10 minutes, and you, Aidan, you've been good as your word. However, 2 minutes to go, can I trust you? How much longer can I trust you?
Now I'm interested to see if that gap does fall, because obviously they have started to sort of slightly battle, a bit of defending from Yehan, but also Patrick Leaf's been getting through on Jake Humphrey, now trying to get through on Leo Robinson as well. So will that gap close ever so slightly?
By 2 tenths.
I thought it was more like half a tenth, was it not?
Yeah, it was 2.39, and now it's down to 2.6. Oh, half in that sector. Ah, yeah, the scoring pile on the left-hand side of your screen, that adjusts itself every sector, not every lap.
Yes.
So it was a tenth in that sector, 2 tenths overall. And Yehan, I think, has decided, thanks for all the support, Aidan, but I no longer believe you when you say you're not going to pass me. And Aidan's saying, no, still push. And Yehan's going, not quite sure, but we're into the final minute 15 plus a lap. Aidan Mitchell, he's never finished on the podium, has Aidan Mitchell. He wants that podium, but he wants a win even better, I'm sure.
Definitely. That's what every driver wants, especially in the final. To take the win on the road would be absolutely fantastic for Aidan Mitchell, but we'll have to keep an eye on them as they head down into the Stratford hairpin.
And you can see Leo Robinson now within 2 seconds.
He's got a good exit.
Oh, yeah. So Jake Humphrey's been dropped. It's now Robinson and Leaf dueling for third. They're closing in on this battle.
Is it fast enough, though?
Yeah, they're going to close fast enough. They could run out of time. They might get to this battle, but it might be a little bit too late as Kalicher begins to defend. 30 seconds plus a lap to go. Next time round, they'll see the last lap board. It's 2 to go in Junior TKM.
This is going to be really exciting here. You can see Yehan just changing his lines ever so slightly to cover off a potential move from Aidan Mitchell. Again, down into the hairpin. Moves to the outside, does Aidan. Trying the up and under, possibly on the exit, but goes a little bit deep.
He runs away, makes a mistake. I don't believe it.
He does make a mistake, and now he's dropped a good few tenths of a second off of the leader. This could really help Leo Robinson and Patrick Leaf behind us. Now they're in Aidan Mitchell's slipstream. So this could be an opportunity for Leaf and Robinson behind to snatch second place away from Mitchell. This could also be an opportunity for Yehan to clear off on this final lap. Now, I do want to mention just quickly, Daniela Sutton, sadly, has got a 5-second penalty in this race. She might drop below Harrison Morrow when they get to the flag, as there's the 11 of Harry Blore, who's pulled off to the side of the circuit as we head on to the last lap.
Yeah, what Aidan Mitchell tried to do, he tried to go wide and then undercut Kalicher coming out of Stratford corner. But Kalicher parked it on the apex, and Mitchell had no choice but to then sort of make a steering adjustment, and he now has to defend from Leo Robinson. Could this be 3 podiums in a row for Leo Robinson? Could it be a first for Patrick Leaf? But Yehan Kalicher, double E plate holder. Oh, and it's 3 wide. Leo Robinson, and Mitchell's dropped down to 4th. I don't believe it. And that is Leaf up into P2.
What a final lap. Leaf has just nicked it away, hasn't he? But trying around the outside is Leo Robinson. I don't think he's quite going to have the exit. It is going to be Yehan Kalicher who will take the win here in the Junior TKM final. And it is Patrick Leaf who holds it over the line. Leo Robinson rounding out the podium.
3 in a row for Classen Motorsport and Yehan Kalicher. Patrick Leaf comes home in second. Leo Robinson in third. Aidan Mitchell just misses out on a maiden podium again. He was half a lap away, and he comes home in fourth position. Jake Humphrey finishes in fifth. Willoughby Steele is sixth. Seventh for William Bryant. Monty Brathwaite, 8th. Jack Stewart, 9th. Daniela Sutton, the penalty will keep her in 10th, ahead of Harrison Morrow in 11th. And then